On this Martin Luther King Day against the Hawks, Jalen Brunson a game-high 34. Mikal Bridges was huge on the offensive end, 14 of his 26 in the third quarter. Knicks were down by 8 at the half, but they end up winning the game by 9, beating the Hawks 119 to 110. I'm going to actually talk to Mikal Bridges here in a couple of moments. Bill Pito along with Wally Szczerbiak. It's great to have you with us. So really a tale, Wally, of two halves.
Yeah.
Why were the Knicks so much better in the second half?
Well, they came out to start the third quarter, and the way they hit the Hawks, that was huge because they were down 8. They went on a big run to get themselves back into the game, and then after that they took advantage of mismatches and took advantage of their strength and their size where they had advantages. And I thought the defense played one of its best halves in a long time, the way they defended in that second half.
Atlanta, the second half, 48 total points.
Yep.
Fourth quarter, the Knicks were up by 5 coming into the final 12 minutes. Fourth quarter execution has been a problem in recent games. It was not today.
No, it wasn't. And I think one of the things that the Knicks are starting to learn is it doesn't always have to be just Jalen Brunson. You can trust Mikal Bridges to make some big shots, put the ball in his hands, let him be a facilitator. How about some of the passes by Karl-Anthony Towns? The backdoor looks were outstanding all game. And how about the bench, too? Tom Thibodeau given 20-plus minutes to Deuce McBride off the bench. Campaign continues to just light it up from the three-point line. Just unbelievable the way he comes in the game and shoots the ball. The Knicks offense was executing at a high level. This Hawks team has been playing really good basketball. I thought this game could have gone either way starting the second half, but this was a good job by the Knicks of taking care of business and shutting up Trae Young.
Who committed 9 turnovers.
That's exactly right. He does risk a lot of passes. He's a great passer, but the Knicks were getting a lot of deflections, making a lot of things happen. And that was the big shot that really iced the game by Mikal Bridges in that fourth quarter. That's just an overall good team win that the Knicks grinded out.
All right, you look at the numbers. Knicks getting 29 points off of 24 turnovers, perhaps a key number of the game. And the Knicks are now 16-1 when they record at least 30 assists in a game. In this one, they had 31 assists. Here now with Mikal Bridges. Mikal, congrats on a great afternoon. You guys lost the first half by 8 points, but won the second half by 17 points. What was the difference?
Just playing hard. I think just staying together. I know we had some foul trouble first half, but just staying hard and playing together. I think just team defense and sharing the ball.
You torched Trae Young in the third quarter, in particular, when you scored 14 of your points. Is there extra motivation going up against him for all the history with Trae Young and the Knicks and the Knicks fans?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, man. I just take it one game at a time. But, you know, he's a competitor. I've been playing against him since even college. So just know who he is. And, you know, I know the city not a big fan, but we just trying to go out there and get a win.
You guys forced a season-high 24 turnovers. What was the key to that?
Just defense. I think defensive pressure and helping each other.
Mikal, thanks for dropping by, and good luck tomorrow night at the Nets.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Wally, how about Trae Young trying to guard Mikal Bridges? That's not the best matchup for the Hawks.
That's an insult, and Mikal Bridges made them pay. Trae Young is small. There was a lot of "you're too small." Look at Mikal Bridges talking a little bit there, giving it right back to Trae Young. Trae Young is an elite player. He's a competitor. He's a pest. He tries to get under the skin of other teams. You have to go back at him. If you let him play with swagger, he is going to dominate you, and he is going to come into your building and beat you. You have to make him defend. That's the key. Mikal Bridges went at him. The Knicks did a good job of getting the ball to Mikal Bridges. And look at that shot chart. Not letting Trae Young relax and rest on the defensive end of the floor. Make him bang, make him play physical, bring him into the post, into the paint, and make him pay for being smaller than you.
Bridges 12 of 17 overall, attempted only 2 threes, went 1 of 2 from downtown. So you got the 26 for Bridges. Karl-Anthony Towns, whether it was an issue with the thumb or not, you mentioned his great passing, had 7 assists, but he shot only 5 of 18 and scored only 13 points. So it was really important for Jalen Brunson to have a big game, and he did with the game-high 34.
Jalen was the key. The captain showed up exactly when he needed it. The Knicks have been really struggling. He came out at the beginning of this game, set the tone like a captain does and like your leader does and like your all-star does. And granted, he's also going against what is regarded as maybe the defensive player of the year in Dyson Daniels, and one of the front runners for defensive player of the year, and Jalen Brunson just abused him. That's what he does to great defenders. You can't stop him one-on-one. He is such a great game. He gets to his spots, takes advantage of guys, and Dyson Daniels is a guy who gambles a lot. He got a couple steals, but when he does gamble, you have to make him pay for going for those gambles when he doesn't get those steals and blocks. I thought Jalen Brunson did a great job of that today.
We talked a lot about coming into January, about the home dominant schedule, but coming into this game in this month, Knicks only 3-4 on their home court. This was under the radar, very important game.
Yeah, you got to get these little bridge wins. You really do. And I think you look for any type of motivation at this time in the season. We've talked about it. January, it's a tough part of the season, dog days, coming into the All-Star break. You got to look for something to help motivate you. I really think the fact that the Knicks had lost 2 games to the Atlanta Hawks, they were not going to go down 3-0 in the season series to this team, and they used that as a little bit of motivation to really get them playing at a different level and just finding a way to defend home court and get a win.
If you're in that Knick locker room, given all the history with Trae Young, especially the last time he was here in the in-season tournament when he's pretending to roll the dice on the logo, would that serve as motivation for you if you were playing in this game?
Yeah. You know, a team that's struggling, you're looking for anything to get you going as a player and as a competitor. I mean, these Knicks players, they're ultra competitive. So they come out there, but they're professionals. They get their rest, and every single night they go out there and play hard. But at the same time, this game would have been a little bit personal for me because of the history with Trae Young and because of what he did, rolling dice on your logo the last time you played him, and they knocked the Knicks out of the in-season tournament. So any type of motivation this time of the year when you're a little drained, you're a little tired, you played a lot of minutes in a lot of games, you'll use it. And I think the Knicks did tonight.
Before this one, Hawks had been 2-0 against the Knicks this season. Monica McNutt now joins us. She helped call the game on ESPN New York, the radio broadcast. Monica, great to see you. What did you think today?
That was fun. 2 things stood out to me. I thought Jalen Brunson did a terrific job of setting the pace to start the ball game because, frankly, guys, in the matchups so far, I thought Dyson Daniels has done a notable job in terms of defending him. But I think early in this one, because of Jalen Brunson's high basketball IQ and his consistent basketball work ethic, he knew, and he made the most of it to start the ball game. But then I also thought in the third quarter, because remember at halftime, he was the only Knick in double figures. I thought Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, even Karl-Anthony Towns to a degree, did a really good job of joining their captain in the effort for the Knicks to outscore these guys in the paint 56-52 and to get big-time minutes out of their bench. It's a good win for this squad.
Yeah, Monica, let's circle back to the bench. 4 guys off the bench getting 10-plus minutes, Deuce getting 20-plus minutes. What are you seeing out of that bench, and do you think Tom Thibodeau is starting to trust them a little more?
Well, it's interesting, Wally, because we had Cameron Payne for our radio postgame, and I don't even know if Tyler fully got the question out before Cameron Payne said, I'm just in that mode. I'm in that mode. And so my question was, well, elaborate what that mode is. He's like, I'm just hungry. I want to be on the floor. I want to help my team win. I'm going to do whatever it takes for us to do that. And then he continued to share with us that part of the energy of tonight's game was they did not forget the dice roll the last time the Atlanta Hawks were here. And so to your question, I think Cameron Payne among that group, he's the guy that probably still has trust to earn in that Deuce McBride is a part of the rotation. But I think Payne, Shamet, McBride, they're doing all of the right things. Because remember, tonight, this team only hits 9 threes, and they still managed to get a win. But they are certainly doing all of the right things to continue to garner trust. One thing Cam Payne mentioned is making the most out of the rest of this home stretch because, as you guys know, best fans in the league.
All right, Monica, I mentioned this with Wally. KAT back after the 2-game absence because of the sore thumb. Shot only 5 out of 18, but did pass off for 7 assists. What do you think from what you saw out of him?
Tied a season high with those 7 assists. And I think when I think of KAT as a secondary engine, yes, the points and rebounds jump off the page, but it is the assist and the gravity that he shifts when he's on the floor that I think of as well. He had that terrific pass to Mikal Bridges, I believe, on the back door, and I think he got Jalen Brunson on the back door, same side of the floor, sneaking behind their defenders. I love his passing ability. It is one of the things that I think was undersold when he arrived here. And we know early in the season, we ended up talking a lot about that connection in the passing with OG Anunoby in particular. But tonight, I thought he took the shots that were given to him. The 3 that he hit was big. I liked in the second half the way that he was leaning into the contact as opposed to fading away, which sometimes he can do. And so it's good to see him back on the floor for sure.
All right, Monica, it's always great to see you. And you guys are mentioning the bench. Deuce McBride, a plus 15, tying for team high honors with Cam Payne, who was also a plus 15 off the bench.
Huge.
And they were key early in the second quarter when the Knicks were trying to fight back. They remember down by 10 in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, the Knicks have been getting off to slow starts, especially at home. The last couple games, the bench has come in the game and flipped it. You know, they've erased a deficit that the Knicks have been in, and that's a really good sign because at home, especially, your bench can really inject that energy that you need.